What are you YouTube family? Welcome back to another video here on the channel. Here is your boy Kiddo Rob. I'm here with another episode of Rob's Recaps. We're going to sit here and recap games played in the NBA. Today we're focused on opening night, game number 2. The Los Angeles Lakers versus Minnesota Timberwolves. A very good game. Storylines, headline, history was made, but today we're focusing on the details. Make sure you leave a like, comment, and subscribe, and let's get into the recap on me. Today we're gonna focus on Minnesota Timberwolves first because unfortunately we're the team that lost, unfortunately, and these are the things that I noticed for myself that I'm taking away from the game that aren't necessarily big dramatic things to talk about for some, but it's things that I noticed throughout the game. Started with number 1, Anthony Edwards jump. A lot of us are expecting Anthony Edwards to become, and I definitely did forget to fill this one out, a lot of us are expecting Anthony Edwards to what? So the next step being MVP conversation, things of that nature, and I think he'll do things around that can get him in the conversation for that. The one thing Ant's gonna have to prove to me for me to give him jump, because he's already a good scorer. I don't have a problem with his ability to score. He's a 3-level scorer that he's improved his 3-pointer dramatically based off of game 1. We've seen it a little bit in preseason as well, but he was amazing in this game from 3. You know he's a good mid-range shooter. You know he gets to the rim, right? So his offensive game in terms of scoring isn't the problem. What I need from him is his entrusting of his teammates. Down to DiVincenzo, I feel like he missed on a couple of easy reads. Even Nickel, even though he does have moments where he does kick the ball out to them for when he gets blitzed, which was happening in the fourth quarter, I still think throughout the game when his team was struggling to get things going, and he is going, but like, he just gets too much in the way of himself trying to be this hero guy when he can easily pass the ball to a Nickeil Alexander-Walker at top of the key wing, top of the key corner 3. Same for Dante. I think he's super important. If this team's going to do anything they did last year, he has to get Julius Randle, in my opinion, a bit more involved. The thing with, and I'll discuss this a little later, but Julius Randle and Cat are totally different players. But in terms of the Anthony Edwards jump, it was really good to see him score the ball. He was amazing shooting from the 3. We all know what he brings from the 3. I'm not even in the camera. What he brings from scoring doesn't bother. It's the jump I need to see is playmaking jump. That's what I'm looking for. Let me check, because I definitely forgot, and I did not want to do this. Let me check. He finished the game only on 3 assists. I don't like that. As a team, they only had 17 assists to the Lakers 22, but for him specifically, he only had 3 assists, and it's just like, I know you want to go get your bucket. You're going to get it, but I need you to get your teammates involved for me to really see you getting in these MVP conversations. Moving on, point number 2 is Julius Randle, right? And this rounds about to the first point I was making in there, but Julius Randle's fit with this team. I read off, finished with 16 points and 9 rebounds on 50% from the field, which is decent. He also got to the free throw line a lot of times. I think he shot 5 or 7 from free throw. But as I'm watching the game, I couldn't help myself from seeing the difference in spacing with today's Wolves and last season's Wolves. The difference with this team is they don't have Cat to shoot that bailout 3. What I mean is, let's say, for example, Anthony Edwards has the ball, and Anthony Edwards is dribbling, but he's kind of getting guarded pretty well. They collapse on him from the paint. The center back there collapses on him to play help off of Rudy Gobert, and he kicks out to whoever. In these same situations, now that it's Julius wants to put the ball on the floor because Julius Randle thinks he's a guard. And there were so many times in this game, especially in the first half of this game, where Julius Randle would get that catch, no hand in his face, pump fake, dribble, put the ball on the floor, and then whatever happened. But like, that simple fact that happened enough in the game, it made the Lakers completely leave him open from 3. Not necessarily in the sense of disrespect, but in the sense of like, yo, Anthony Edwards has the ball on the left wing. We're going to play this whole gap lane in the middle, and whatever happens, go from there. But like, Julius Randle doesn't provide the spacing that they had last year, and that sucks. So it's going to be really interesting to see how Chris Finch develops the offense to get Julius Randle, I think, more comfortable with the unit. And like I said, I think it's important for Anthony Edwards to do a lot of entrusting into Julius Randle to get him involved in the game as well, because that's the only way they're successful is if both of them are good. Next point, paint protection. 72 points allowed. This Laker team If you've been listening to Lakers, they want to shoot threes. The threes aren't falling for this team, so they dominated inside the paint. But how? Rudy Gobert, brother, I'm defending you in the offseason. I'm constantly telling people you're a Hall of Famer. You're a lock for Hall of Fame. I'm going back and forth with these people explaining why you're Defensive Player of the Year. You can't prove me wrong and let 72 points happen in your paint. Specifically, you can't let your matchup dominate you in the paint. I mean, all game, Anthony Davis saw you and said, this is barbecue chicken. I don't know if y'all saw this. There was a moment in the game with the cameras where they caught him saying, this nigga ass. He said, Rudy Gobert, this nigga ass. He just hit I think a step back shot on him or from the mid range, and he said, this nigga ass. That's unacceptable. Defensive Player of the Year, a team that just had the best defense, one of the top 5 defenses in the league, cannot allow 72 points in the paint. Unacceptable. Could it just be a one-time thing? Possibly, but I'm really scared for this team and their defensive scheme this offseason. You can't rely everything on that, the perimeter. Nickel does a good job. Ant does a good job. I think Dante does swell. But Rudy Gobert, you gotta help. And I felt like they didn't have no backside help at all. Shout out to Austin Reeves, though, getting a lot of paint touches and just pull up J's in the paint. Another thing, Julius Randle effect, but this also can equate to others as well, but this is specifically something for Julius Randle. Julius Randle sleeps a lot on defense. And there was a moment in, I think, the early third quarter or in the second quarter where he let out the free throw. Austin Reeves get a free throw and it led to a jump ball. And I think on that same possession or a possession later, he let Rui Hachimura come to a backdoor cut for an easy dunk. Unacceptable, right? For this team that is a defensive-minded team that thrives on their defensive end of the ball, he can't have moments like that on consecutive basis. But this is what Julius Randle has always been. He's always been the type of player, when he's not immersed into the game, he will lock the fuck out. And he completely did that today. And he obviously broke out of it, of course. But it's so many times for him specifically where that happens that it's just unacceptable. And I need him to get better at it. Their late game defensive intensity, right? I wrote down, I really like the Nickeil Alexander-Walker minutes. Now, we do know that he's at the bottom of the list, but Mike Conley got benched in that fourth quarter, and Nickeil Walker was a big reason why, because he was constantly hounding D'Angelo Russell, picking him up 94 feet, and making the offense hard to get into for the Los Angeles Lakers, and I love that. But the thing is, the team has to bring that from the start of the game that they just didn't do. They can't rely on Nickeil Alexander-Walker to be the one only to bring in that intensity. Dante tries to do it, but Dante's weak, as in, like, he's not very strong enough to do it. Nickeil not that strong either. He has very long arms. Ant does a great job of doing it well, but sometimes Ant gets a little greedy and emotional trying to do it, trying to prove a point, and he'll foul or let his man get blown by, and then help defense happens and kick actions and just too much. So I need them to play better defense. They can't just rely on their late game defensive identity to kick in to save them, and that unfortunately didn't help them today. And last one for the team, Mike Conley. Mike Conley is old. Mike Conley is kind of, to me, falling in that Kyle Lowry area of their careers, Chris Paul areas of their career, where they're kind of still productive. And I also want to cut him some slack because I don't think he played a lot of preseason basketball, so I feel like he just didn't have his legs, but he didn't make a lot of shots. Couldn't buy a shot from 3 and was inevitably benched down the stretch of the fourth quarter for Nickeil Alexander-Walker. It's not a big deal to worry about right now, but you definitely have to keep an eye on Mike Conley and see if this is the point guard that you want on your team going throughout this season. Just saying. Just keep awareness of a Mike Conley. That's it. Moving on to the winners of today's matchup, the Los Angeles Lakers. I need some water on me. The Los Angeles Lakers were pretty amazing. Brief statement, I love what I saw. Little things I kind of was worried about, especially when the lead was starting to slip, but they kept able. Shout out to the coaching staff and the team still locking in, winning the game. But let's get into it. First point, will they stick to the plan, right? Will they skip to the script? JJ Redick wanting this team to be a high three-point attempts team, which of course is doable, but will they make a quality amount as well? First half they went 3 for 19, finished the game 5 for 30, 11 shots less than the Wolves, but the paint was food. So they were shooting threes. The threes just weren't falling, and then they started dominating the paint, and they just focused more on the paint, specifically in the mid-range area and the paint. I think a big part of why their numbers were like this is because one of their lead shooters, D'Angelo Russell, just struggled today. You know, LeBron only made like 1 to 2 threes. Anthony Davis made a 3 today. But the threes throughout the team just weren't a lot. Max Christie struggled from 3 from the corner. Gabe Vincent, I don't believe, made a 3 either. So where they were struggling from 3, they managed to find their identity in the paint. So if they can bring that duality, that's a great thing. But I just don't think this team, as much as JJ Redick wants this team to be a high volume 3-point shooting team, I don't think it will equate to them being a high made 3-point shooting team. Only the boards. That's something else Coach JJ Redick talked about. 2017 rebounds in the first half, lost the total rebound battle by 1, 46-47, which is fine. Coach preached offensive rebounds all offseason, and that's the category they won. Decent, right? Coach talked about, we got to dominate crafts from the corners, and that's exactly what they did today, which inevitably helped them get a lot of second chance points, which helped them win the basketball game. I don't even know if they won the second chance points battle, but they got the most offensive boards. So shout out to them. Shout out to JJ Redick for preaching it and putting it into action. Excited to see how that manifests throughout the season. Quick little pointer. This happened like in the second quarter when Jackson Hayes was playing. He was playing pretty solid, right? He plays. The best thing about Jackson Hayes is that he's valuable enough to be reliable on the court in terms of, like, as long as he's not put in a position to where he has to post score, he's good. Like, if he can just be a rebounding, screen setting big, he's good. I love that he's knowledgeable as a player to not put the ball on the floor outside of going to set up a DHO with one of the ball handlers. I love that for him. I love that he's a strong roller to where if he's gonna get that ball in the middle of the court after a roll, he's either flying to the rim for a dunk or layup or making it pass to the corners. W's in my opinion. Bronny and LeBron. Yeah, Bronny and LeBron had their moment today, which was pretty cool. Nothing extravagant happened necessarily with it happened, but it was just cool for it to happen. LeBron got a dunk in that process, a backdoor dunk on the sideline, and Bronny got a 3-point attempt, which was really cool. If he made that, that would have been such an amazing moment. But it was cool that it happened. Now we don't have to talk about it for the rest of the season, and we can just get ready to hoop. I asked a question, but I'll put a period. D'Lo still D'Lo? Question mark. And I said I don't think so, right? D'Lo definitely struggled from the field today, undoubtedly. We can all agree that he struggled from the field, but he was such a excellent offense initiator in terms of getting the offense set up to run. That I'm just gonna give him flowers for that. I think the shots obviously are gonna fall from him, and his numbers will obviously look a lot better. But in terms of getting the ball into the offense and like getting the little cross action going at top of the key going, and just running a pick and roll with whoever big was on the floor and getting them the ball, especially getting the ball to AD, I think he did a fantastic job. Shout out to him. And I just expect the 3 ball to fall one day. It just didn't fall today, but he'll get back to D'Lo. I think he shot. I put it in my notes. He shot 1 for 7 from 3. That's not like D'Lo, unless it's like the playoffs. That's not like D'Lo, so he'll be fine. Not much to really worry about for him. MVP AD. Are we putting MVP AD in the box? Because him and Jason Tatum both had excellent performances today, both equal to like what they do at the finest, and Jason Tatum scoring at the perimeter and Anthony Davis dominating the paint, and that's exactly what they did. A double-double for Anthony Davis, finished with 36 and 16 rebounds on the Defensive Player of the Year, Rudy Gobert. Oh my God, pretty amazing. I'm super proud to watch that. That was probably the best performance I've seen Anthony Davis had through a course of a game in a while. And the fact that he was actually scoring in the fourth quarter, Darvin Hill. Oh my God, I was going to say something so criminal, but I'm going to let it slide. Last point before we get about her, LeBron owed. Yes, LeBron's old. I put no, but yes, LeBron is old. He's going on 40. He turns 40 like in 2 months. But I don't think he was tired today, you guys, for sure. Like undoubtedly LeBron was tired. But I said in here that he just didn't play in the preseason a lot. I think he played one game. Like he played like 2 games, maybe 1 game, 1 to 2 games out of like 5 games, y'all. Like he did not get a lot of burn in the preseason to get his body and ready for like full on NBA basketball. So he definitely was gassed. You seen it in the first quarter. He was called for a sub. He was gassed, bro. But he was giving it his all with his IQ, his defensive hustle, and I appreciate that. And yeah, man, that's the Lakers versus the Minnesota game recap. I hope you guys enjoy. Make sure you guys will like, comment, and subscribe. I'm gonna do my best to get these videos out to you as soon as possible. I'll probably just drop both of them tomorrow. Like, that would be my best thing to do. I drop both of them back to back early in the morning, like 8 o'clock, 7 o'clock, you know. But yeah, I'm out. Peace.